What is going on, Lake Pro Tackle fam? This might be my last cup of coffee for 2024. I'm totally kidding. It is like 8 o'clock. Got it in the office this morning and packed up some orders, pulled a couple items here. This video, starting in 2023, we started doing these recap videos going over the best selling items as well as some of the most popular items of that year. Now, all the stuff on this table here, again, it's not all brand new products, but it is definitely items that have taken off this past year in 2024. Looking forward to 2025. We've got iCast on our list. We've got a bunch of other cool stuff as well as the Bassmaster Classic. So if you want to come to the Bassmaster Classic, of course, it's going to be down in Fort Worth, about 50 minutes away from here for the weigh-in. However, the lake is in our backyard right behind me here. It's only about 20 minutes away. So if you go to takeoff or if you're dragging your boat up here to watch some anglers during that time, definitely come up to the shop. Greatly looking forward to that event there. Of course, we're going to be trying to get some big names in here. Of course, some anglers that are fishing in the Classic as well as some anglers that are just hanging out in the area to do expo stuff. So hopefully we can coordinate some stuff with them as well as their companies to get them in here and definitely do some really cool meet and greets around that time period. So, guys, let's just go ahead and kick it off. This is one of my favorite videos to do, going over all the best-selling tackle here at the shop. Of course, breaking into a lot of new lineups. The JDM game, the swimbait game, the BFS game, a lot of really, really cool items. Kicking it off, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with the big one here, get it out of the way. This has definitely been the best scale I have ever used. Bubba is known for their superior quality in knives. Basically, everything they come out with is going to be an absolute hit. Of course, the brand new micro shears, if you haven't tried those, you gotta try those. But this guy right here allows me to lock in my weights super fast. Excuse me, again, gotta work on this coffee. Holds up to 8 weights. You can do a catch weight release where it's gonna track like all your weights. It has a really, really bright LCD screen. And matching it up with the culling indicators, y'all, it makes culling a breeze. So if you're tournament fishing, this thing right here is literally bulletproof, comes with a rechargeable battery that takes USB Type-C, comes with the cord and everything, as well as multiple accessories with it. Overall, holding it is easy. Some of the other scales out there on the market are little, like rectangles, and they can easily fall out and fish can flop. Comes out of your hand. This guy right here, you can hold on to this, very, very ergonomic. You hold it with one hand, hold it with 2 hands, and it's gonna weigh your fish extremely accurately. So the Bubba Pro Series Smart Fish Gill is going to be coming in at that $200 price point. They also have one at that $100 price point, which is equally as good when it comes to the weighing. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the LCD screen and everything like that. Moving on, this is going to be a longer video, so bear with me. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible. The best-selling crankbait actually surprised me. Going into the analytics, and this is one bait that I feel a lot of people don't know about, even if they're starting to break into the Megabass lineup, with the 110s and 110 Juniors, or if it's like an SV3 spinner bait or a sleeper cross, something like that, maybe a dark sleeper, of course. This guy right here is the Megabass Z2 crankbait. It's a super Z2 crankbait. These guys are ultra finessey, but also push a ton of water. Now, the Z2 is my favorite size. I use the Z2 the most. It's going to get down to that 2.9 meters, which, when you translate it to feet on 10-pound line, it's going to get around to that 12-foot mark. Typically, I throw it on 12 here in Texas just because we have zebra mussels. We have really, really chunky, nasty-looking rock. And, when it comes to cranking all times of the year, doesn't have to be cold, doesn't have to be fall transition, doesn't have to be spring. This guy right here gets bites. It's very subtle action, very wiggle-warty action where it has a really, really awesome tracking action on it. Allows you to get a lot of bites that you're not normally going to get. Another thing, this also has the LBO casting system in it, which allows you to throw this bait on literally anything. It doesn't even matter if it's like a Zebco, if it's like the cheapest baitcaster you can find on the market, spinning rod, you're going to be able to throw this extremely, extremely, extremely far distances, and it has been extremely productive for me. I've caught so many 4 to 5 pound to 6 pound, 7 pound even class fish on the Z2. And I know a lot of you are paying attention because I talk about it in other videos. So if you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel here for just repetitive information. not repetitive information, but consistent information coming in on fishing, what I'm discovering, what other people are discovering. So definitely check out the Super Z series from Megabass. I think that's actually the only Megabass item we have on this list here. You know, let's move to something like this. This is what I put in the higher priced category for swim baits. Clutch Swim Baits has made an exceptional run in the industry, making so many amazing lures. He really only has 4 available. The only one we don't have is the Boss, and that's the big glide bait. This right here is the darter. So when it comes to herring profiles, or it comes to shad profiles, this thing gets the job done. So it's going to be a very slender profile. It works very similar to just about all your other chopping baits. However, it is really hard to emulate that chopping style while maintaining the verticality of the bait with this profile. So this bait here, you know, I would say not even close would be something like an S-Waver. Well, not really even in the same category, but when it comes to profile, there's not many out there that are as slender and short but work extremely well as the darter. It has been our best-selling high-ticket glide bait in the case there. We sell a ton of these, usually in bone, usually in something like olive blueback. This one here, I believe, is Green Illusion. This one is also a really good seller. So for those higher end glide baits, if you're looking to get, you know, the most out of your money, I highly recommend Clutch Swim Baits. Josh, super cool guy, able to get us these really fast. Also I want to do like a little custom color with him, so we'll see what we can do in the future. One more item from Clutch Swim Baits. Like I said, they make some exceptional baits. This here is the Clutch Eco. This is the bare bone color. This has been just flying off the shelves. It is very hard to keep these in stock. This is a full resin glide bait for $95. Color is baked into this, and I mean, it is literally impossible to chip. There's no paint to, you know, knock off of it, and it works extremely well. Again, maintaining perfect verticality in the water column when you're working it, and you can work it extremely quick. You know, wherever you throw like a jerk bait, or you throw up on the bank with a flipping bait, you can flip this into wood, work it out. You can flip this next to a lay down, work it out, and it's just gonna dead walk there. It's amazing what Josh has done with this little profile bait here. It's 6 1/4 inches, weighs 1.5 ounces, so you don't need a super big rod or reel to throw the bait. So the Clutch Eco, definitely on my list. I absolutely love throwing this, especially when those bait fish are getting pushed up shallow, because I can just leave it in the strike zone for a really long time, and it is attractive even to 1 and 2 pounders. So definitely check out that Clutch Eco. Let's move into some fishing line. You know, one of the hottest ticket items for Fluorocarbon line in 2023 was the Spro-Gookin line. Of course, Bass Fishing HQ, Tyler did an amazing video going over knot strength, breaking strength, tensile strength, everything like that when testing fluorocarbons. This guy came out on top. It is still a really good seller for us. It is extremely strong line. So in all the categories, of course, when comparing, you know, like breaking strength and memory and cost effectiveness, it was at the top of the list. This guy right here, it does have a little more memory later in its lifespan, and I'm talking, you know, 3, 4, 5 months in. So, you know, every half a year, 6 months, you're going to be changing your line on this one. That's just how it is on most fluorocarbons. You know, you can get away with leaving it on for 3, 4 years. I've done that. I've got one reel probably that I've got line that I had on there since college fishing. And that's just what happens with some fluorocarbons. You know, sometimes you can leave it on. Sometimes the memory gets just so annoying that it's almost impossible to use. It gets too stretched out. This is still selling extremely well, so I wanted to do like a dual list on the fluorocarbons, because one of my favorite fluorocarbons coming in here at about $3 more Then the Gookin is the Shimano Mastiff Fluorocarbon. Now this stuff right here uses nano armor, which is going to increase your knot strength and abrasion resistance. I have been using this hybrid fishing, I've been using it largemouth fishing, swim bait fishing. I've put this through the ringer, used everything from 10 all the way up to 20-pound test. It is extremely strong. Abrasion resistance, I would say, is really good because I do crank with this a lot. 12-pound is by far my favorite. When it comes to line diameters, they are going to be very similar. I think Mastiff has the edge in some situations, especially at the smaller diameter. However, I absolutely love it for that nano armor technology that they use with it. My knots are extremely strong. I don't think I've broken off on the knot at once, and I've been using this since it came out earlier, right after I cast. So I've put in about 6 months of use on most of my spools, my swim baits, 20-pound with like a bull shad 8-inch, as well as a couple other ones like a tater hog, has been extremely good and have literally had no issues. I think I had one spool that I put on, I think it was the rod, because there were little frays going down in it. I'm pretty sure I had a frayed eyelet, but I just want to tell you again, we're very transparent here at Lake Pro Tackle. If something's happening that might skew results, we're gonna let you know. We're not just gonna blame the product, because that's not what we do here. So Gookin by Spro, Mastiff by Fluorocarbon, two of my favorite fluorocarbons right now. I don't think there's, oh, actually, there is a big difference. So this Gookin does come in a 150 yarder. I can get 2 spools out of my cranking reels with this guy right here. So this comes in a 200 yard spool. So I think per value, I think that Mastiff is gonna be a little on the edge for me. You know, it's gonna be a little more than the Gookin because I can get 2 full spools out of here if I'm not deep cranking with like 150 size. Other than that, you know, putting it on the Metanium DC has been an absolute dream. This is by far the best bait casting seller for us. Of course, this came out at ICAST 2024. Brand new IDC5 braking system. We've done a ton of videos on this explaining the braking system, and it comes with an MGL3 spool. So the startup inertia is very strong on this one. Very light. Man, I'm just slower today. Startup inertia is low. Casting, you don't have to cast super hard because that startup inertia is low. Excuse me, I don't cut these videos, so bear with me here as I wake up just a little bit. This is a 70 size reel, so again, if I want to crank, I can buy 1 spool of 12 pounds, put it on 2 Metanium DCs. I also love my Corrados, of course, but Metanium DC, by far the best selling baitcaster of 2024. Another one that has really surprised me, not taken off as much as I thought it would. I think a lot of people are, of course, kind of shying away just because of the price. The Steez SVTW 100. This guy right here is extremely light. When it comes to bait casters, not wearing yourself out all day with the lightness of the reel, the casting braking on it is extremely up there. It has the ultimate cast design as well as T-wing system and SV boost system. So you're going to be getting extreme casting distance as well as amazing braking in the Steez reel. I don't have, this is a display box. I've got some sealed ones back there, but the Steez SVTW 100 comes in an XH and an SH, so a 7 and an 8 speed. Same thing for Metanium DC, comes in a 7, which is the HG, and an 8 speed, which is the XG. So 2 extremely amazing reels, both at the top of their classes for casting. Looking forward to what we're seeing in the fall, or I guess in the spring, from Shimano Daiwa. Got some really cool stuff coming that I can't talk about, but got some cool stuff coming out from them. Okay, I have to talk about this one. So this is the Mini Blades of Glory by Shane's Baits. This guy right here is responsible for basically 3 months straight, each weekend, of 30-pound bags on Lake Louisville, as well as recently my PB Fish, which is a PB Bass, which is a 10.9 responsible for that as well. I know a lot of y'all have been buying them out because there's 3 left on the shelf, and when I went to go grab this off the shelf, I was like, damn, we do not have any stock left. So do not be afraid. We have more coming. Shane's Baits Mini Blades of Glory, for multiple reasons, is by far my favorite A-rig. It is a very small profile, and what's really cool, and they don't talk about it a lot, they don't put anything into marketing, which I actually kind of enjoy because I'm able to create some content for them and work with them a little bit closer, is that this is a patented system where the wires aren't actually encapsulated in a resin or lead head for the A-rig. They're able to move around freely, which, you know, decreases the wear and tear on the wire. So I can use one of these for basically a full season. I'm gonna say like a full spring, winter to spring season. And then, you know, get another one in the fall. You know, I will break these off in brush piles here and there, but very rarely do I actually break an arm. And even still, you can take this head apart, you can replace the arms and tinker with it and play with it. So the Shane's Baits Mini Blades of Glory has been there for me. It is a very, you know, just smaller profile A-rig that you can reel over and still gets a lot of draw. 4 blades on it, comes stock. You can put 5 hooks on it. But of course, if you watch my videos here, I only use 3 hooks, and there's a big reason for that. So definitely go watch those videos. So best-selling A-rig of 2024, definitely Mini Blades of Glory. They also have other ones, the Dominator and the Moneyball, and you can go check those out as well. This is something I don't do a lot, but these are best sellers here. For the football jig category, it seems like the smaller, more finesse-y approaches are starting to take off a little more as fishing pressure increases. This is a big thing at ponds, this is a big thing at smaller bodies of water, and definitely a big thing at your big bodies of water like Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, of course your Gunnersvilles, your Chickamaugas, anything like that, Tennessee River. Here in the Metroplex, it's crazy how much pressure these lakes are getting. This is the Kitech Model 2, or I guess version 2 football jig. We sell an absolute ton of these. They come in a wide variety of sizes. I believe it's 1/4, 3/8, and half. And it's hard to find a really, really good 1/4 ounce football head that's in this finesse version. We have a bunch of different colors. You can put a little Super Trooper on this. You can put a Maxent Chigger Craw. I didn't grab any plastic. That's one thing I didn't grab other than these guys here. For soft baits, Morning Dawn, Red Flake Robo Worm, 100% bestseller for plastic overall, as well as a bunch of the stuff from G-Crack, and we'll get into that in a second. But for finesse football jigs, or football jigs in general, this guy has been dominating overall. So really cool stuff from Kitech. Another jig category, bladed jigs. This is the jackhammer. We all know and love it. White color, definitely the best. 3/8 ounce seems to be what most people are getting. One thing I will say about the jackhammer is I am surprised that we actually have this as our best seller, mainly because these guys came out. The Chatterbait Elite Evo, or EVO, really changed the game for the jackhammer in my opinion, because everything's basically the same with upgrades for a cheaper price. But I think those of you who are addicted to the jackhammers and also just loyal to the jackhammer and know what it can do, you catch fish on it, I don't blame you for not going to the Evo, but I highly recommend you try out the Evo because it is so good. It has basically everything that the jackhammer has, comes in at a lower price point. Again, I'm here to sell you baits, but also baits that I think you're gonna actually have success with, and I think you're gonna have success with the Evo. So make sure to try that out. When it comes to hooks, I'm very particular. I'm waiting for the big camera to come in so I can do a proper video on why you lose fish from the bank, from the boat, from a kayak. It doesn't matter what you're fishing from. Everyone is going to lose fish eventually. I lost my first fish of 2024 2 weeks ago. And it was with a hook that I absolutely love. I was fishing a little bit. I was fishing a brand new rod and reel. The rod was a lot more supple than I thought it was. Could not drive these hooks in there. I'm not going to get into the video. I've got a ton of information. It's going to be a long video. going over why you lose fish on hooks. Could be treble hooks, could be single hooks, doesn't really matter, could be an EWG. It's going to be a very long video. So we'll get into that in another video in 2025. But best-selling soft bait hook, I guess, is going to be a Spear Point GP Finesse in a size 1. This is what I tell most people to start out with. They have a size 3, 2, a 1, and a 1/0, as well as a 2/0, I think, but I only got those 4 sizes because most people can get away with the 1/0 on a wacky, a drop shot, Nico rig. I use the size 3s personally. I love going extremely finesse, even on a 6-inch robo worm when I am nose hooking. The size 3 comes out, but for most people, I know that that size scares you and you don't think the fish is going to get that hook all the way. I get it. Most people are comfortable with the size 1, and that's what a lot of people have been having a lot of success with. Got a lot of people fully converted over to Spear Points, especially in that GP Finesse category when it comes to their Finesse hooks. Just been extremely effective. I think I talked to one guy, he said he lost 1 fish, but he said it was his fault. Totally his fault. Let all slack in the line, you know, bounced the rod, and that fish did somersaults, lost the fish. It's going to happen eventually, but when it comes to 99% of the other cases, people are getting their fish on the bank, in the boat, whatever, in the kayak. Treble hooks. This has by far become my favorite hook of 2024, as well as a lot of other people that try these out. These are the BKK Spear 71 EWG SS's. Now these are ultra slick, very thin wire, but super strong. They come in a pack of 6, 7, 8. So for crankbaits, super awesome. You can get 4 crankbaits out. Love putting the size 8s on my Z2s. I love throwing this on just about anything. A DT, a lipless crankbait. These BKKs have been extremely effective across the board. We have size 8 all the way up to, I believe, a size 2. I've only used the 6s and 8s because realistically I'm not throwing super big crankbait. So I really get away with a size 6, even on like a DT 16, where I don't need a super big hook. I don't like super big hooks. Again, going back to like the Spear Points, I use a minuscule size 3 hook for my drop shots. But this guy right here has landed some extremely big fish. I think actually it's landed 2 of my fish on 2 or 3. No, I think 2 of my fish on my best 5 of the year. Jacksall Bling is another crankbait that I was going to include on the list, but it's a much smaller group of people that buy the blings with me. Yeah, there they are. Much smaller group of people that buy the blings. It's not our best seller overall, but I think if you give it a try, you're going to fall in love with it, because I have absolutely fallen in love with it this past 2-3 months. Starting like September, this bite seemed to get really hot. What's unique about the bling is it has a ton of rattles in it, so it sounds like a lipless crankbait, but it runs kind of like a flat-sided square bill. So very unique bait there. Love changing these stock hooks out to size 6s or size 8s, depending on how deep I want that lure to get. Moving on to the last 2 items here, the G-Crack Q-Bombs, of course, from G-Crack, Japanese company, comes in a pack of 4. When it comes to the weightless, like fuzzy dice category, these sell out extremely fast. We do have some in stock because we just got a big reload, so make sure to check those out. We've got them in the 1.2 sizes as well as the 1-inch sizes as well, and some of the stuff from the last shipment. So really cool stuff from G-Crack. Of course, we do also have this bad boy still available. This is a not giveaway item, but if you purchase, this is the key. Purchase Bellow Shad, be the first one to do it. Purchase Bellow Shad in the white color. This is on the shelf. We've got it kind of mixed in here for people that come in the store that want to get it. But purchase Bellow Shad. This is normal Bellow Shad, not elastomer. Order it in the 3.8 inch. And you're gonna win yourself a free hat signed by Alton Jr. from G-Crack. And this pack itself is signed as well. All you have to do, if you get this pack specifically in your order, All you have to do is email or DM a picture of it. It's labeled 6 out of 10. Email it to GCrack or DM GCrack, and they're gonna get you set up with that limited hat there. Last item, this is a much newer item. It is taken off extremely, extremely well. Kind of the success that I found in the Z2. Find the same success in the Nishini Chipawa Baby DD. Really anything in that Nishini line, it uses this really cool system with the blade on there, so it kind of runs like an underspin crankbait. You're able to burn it at extremely high speeds, and that blade keels it. It keeps that bait in line so you can reel it extremely, extremely, extremely fast. Comes in a good amount of colors. Comes in, I think, 4 or 5 colors that we have at the shop here. These are extremely, extremely effective. A little bit skinnier crankbait, a little more finesse action, but adding that blade, it's kind of like just one end of the spectrum where it's super bright and loud, and then one end of the spectrum where it's a finesse crankbait. So it's a really cool dynamic that you see in a crankbait here. So definitely one of the hottest sellers in this winter time. People are having a ton of success on it. I've caught, I think, 2 fish over 8, 2 fish over 7 for sure on this in the past 3 months since we got them after I cast. So I definitely think you should try these out. Great at hard bottom, runs through grass pretty well as well. They have 4 different models: the Baby Chipawa DD, which is deep diver, regular Chipawa RB, which is round bill, and then DD Chipawa, which is going to be this guy, just a little bit bigger, right? Forgot about this one. This is the Twin Power best-selling, kind of best-selling. The Twin Power and the Vanford are just neck and neck with each other. The Twin Power is going to be much, much, much nicer. It is almost a Stella, basically a Vanquish, which uses all the cool, just super, super nice technology. This brand new one here is the FE, has a slower oscillation for tighter wrapping, better casting. The Vanford MGL, I guess it's MGL, the Vanford is going to be a little bit less expensive, going to be in that like nice budget range. Also, the Vanford is new as well, so you can check those out online, lakeprotackle.com. The Vanford for me has been extremely smooth. When it comes to spinning, I've had all the way up to Stella, and to be honest, you know, when spending my own money on a spinning reel, that Vanford, you know, gets it done for me. It's not the most smooth. I know the Twin Power is much smoother. I know the Stella is much smoother. I know there's other things in the lineup, of course, maybe like Accents, that are much smoother than Vanford. For me, gets the job done. I enjoy fishing it. And when it comes to spinning reels, my personal pick, if I had to buy one, would be the Vanford, but this guy has been extremely, extremely nice to throw as well. So guys, here is to 2024. Thank you so much for watching these videos here, subscribing. I know we just hit, I think it was like 4,800 subscribers. So when we get to that 5,000 mark, we just hit 4,000 not too long ago. When we get to that 5,000 mark, we're going to be doing another giveaway, probably a Bubba scale, honestly. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next year, essentially. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. It's a little early. This is my first cup of coffee, and I hope you struggled through it with me all the way to the end here. So I greatly, greatly appreciate it, guys. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time at Lake Pro Tackle. See you guys.